Welcome to another segment of Up Close and Personal with Pastor Michael Steve Brown and Lady Joy Brown.
Right, when did you get saved?
Oh, saved at 7 years old in a vacation Bible school at Tremont Temple Church, the church my dad pastored for many years. And came down that aisle. Now, I can't tell you I really understood it fully, but you know what? When you grow up in a Christian home, you grow up, your parents tell you who Jesus is, you just believe it. Your parents tell you that he lived and was born of a virgin, you just believe it, you know. So I was a Christian before I knew I was a Christian. But I came down that aisle at 7 in that vacation Bible school because I believe that I felt a calling then. And then others were doing it, and we knew it was right to do. My brother was saved, you know, my mom, my dad was saved, my other siblings were saved. Well, hey, you got to get saved. Now, I have to admit, it was later on in life that I came to a understanding and full realization. But I believe even then at 7, I did believe that Jesus lived. I did believe he died. I did believe that after death, he rose again. I even did my Easter speeches every Easter.
So getting that revelation,
Yeah.
when did you get the true revelation, that holy spark that transitioned you from preacher's child into preacher?
Woo, I tell you what, growing up in a Christian home, you can be misled as it relates to your status with the Lord. You take it for granted. Sadly, I can say, but then in a blessed way, I really didn't get this realization until I was preaching. Forgive me for those who heard sermons before I was really, really connected with the Lord. It was my time in college. I was in a crisis, not anything bad happening externally, but internally, of leaving the ministry. And I'm talking to God, and I felt like I was one of those prophets in the Bible, and I'm challenging him. Lord, you got to show me that you are real. If not, I'm out of this. I'm done with this. Some of the things I had experienced, some of the things I had seen in ministry was sour for me. And I didn't want to be a hypocrite. Come to find out, I think we're all hypocrites. None of us perfectly live up to what we profess. But I didn't want to be a practicing hypocrite. And I was really at a crossroads. And I just remember the Lord, I didn't hear this audible voice like some might confess to have heard, their experience, not mine. But again, it seems like the Lord deals with me internally with peace. He deals with me internally with comfort. I felt this comfort, this presence of the Lord assuring me I am real and I'm with you. And at that moment, I made a decision let me just say something to you. As a young preacher in college with these other young preachers, we're all stupid. We're learning about the Lord. We're learning theology, but we're all dumb. And like young kids, we pick up the bad habits that we saw. And for some reason, we were picking up the bad habits that we saw and not really moving toward those ministers and preachers who were really doing it, laying it down, living the life. And so I was at that crossroads. But the Lord assured me of his presence in my life and what he wanted me to do. And I've been running strong for the Lord ever since. Not perfectly, there's some slips, some trips and some falls, but running strong for him ever since.
So when you say the bad habits, you're talking about look like a preacher, sound like a preacher,
There you go.
act like it, do it this way, do it that way, and then you really realize that's not who you were called to
All
be.
we wanted was tailored suits and gator shoes. And you know what I mean? And big churches, of course, big cars and all of that. We had to realize it was well beyond that,
Join us for our next segment of Up Close and Personal with Pastor Michael Steve Brown and Lady Joy Brown every Friday at 9 a.m.